All
Go
right.
on.
Right. Thank you. Uh, we are, our solution is Ship IT, and these are our team members who have collaborated and co-created the solution for this business challenge. The challenge we have worked on is to improve the efficiency in shipbuilding. We have looked at interdepartmental and interdepartmental areas. Though both the areas have challenges and opportunity, from our analysis, we found out that in the intra-departmental, the opportunity exists, but are very hard to find a solution that would fit the majority of the yards. So we shifted our focus to interdepartmental challenge, which provides the possibility to come up with a solution that is generic enough, which would appeal to many shipyards. So this is our focus today. So let's see what the challenge is, right? Though working on the same final product, right, on the same ship, because of the traditional practices, because of the way it has been organized today, these two departments conduct themselves in differently. They work in a disconnected systems, which gives room for a lot of inefficiency. So what we are seeing here are the list of some of the inefficiencies because of the disconnected environment they work in. So that we see that there is a lack of reuse of data, error in resource planning, incorrect budgeting of both schedule and cost, material overruns, and last but not the least, there is no access to reliable information. So some of this information, some of these inefficiencies impact the baseline of the companies. If this is a data from the open domain, where we see that from two projects which have cost overrun of 2.5 million, another one is 3 times. There's also a schedule overrun of 3 years, and in another case 5 years. So not all of this is due to internal inefficiency. There's also external factors, but we are focused today on the internal inefficiencies, which if you take a positive number can be 30% of this, right? And even we take 30%, it is something like close to few hundred millions, and in some cases years of efficiency gains. So let's look at traditional workshop, how they are organized today. There are the users from engineering and production department. They all are connected, but they're not integrated. They are connected via standalone machines. And what it does is it gives disrupted workflow, reduced productivity, and this framework cannot leverage on the evolving technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning. So then what is the way forward? Way forward is the Ship IT, our product. This is a digital solution which would integrate everyone in one place and enable to create, able to co-create the data so that they can exchange information in real time. What happens if this is enabled? We see that in an integrated platform, the users can reuse data and also can apply the evolving forward-looking technologies like artificial intelligence. They can rework and minimize the rework. They can enhance the quality, make an accurate schedule, and also have access to the right information in the right time, in the right context from a single source of truth, right? So this is our business model to facilitate that. And then it is here where we have our flow chart, the dynamics behind what's happening. We see the data coming from multiple sources, and they get filtered and then make available to the users as and then they need, right, in the right context. Thereby, all the departments are not waiting on each other, but they are co-creating the information required to come up with the final product. So we have in front, this is our website where we have the front end view of how these things are organized. Let me jump and take you to the website, right? And this is our landing page where if you can see my screen, this is a landing page where if the users will interact, right? Where the production planning, engineering, other departments will interact. This is landing page where where multiple projects can be tracked along, and then using the artificial intelligence and forward computing and advanced computing algorithms, we can generate predictive analysis and predictions, right? Which can be later leveraged by each department to get the accurate work done. And then they also provide a platform to collaborate together, right? And then manage teams. So this is our solution, which we think would bridge both the worlds and unlock the efficiencies, right? Unlock the efficiencies, which would definitely impact and save a lot of money and time for shipyards. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. That was incredibly impressive. You had 3 seconds left. There's a minute for questions now. I know not all of the judges are online, but as we mentioned, we're recording these and we'll be going over them. So I will allocate a minute for anyone to ask any questions that they might have, and then we'll be moving on to the next team.
Yeah,
if that's okay. Question. Sorry, what issues do you see with the with actually getting good data, good quality data?
Right. So what happens is that today both the departments they work concurrently, but they exchange information at a periodic intervals. So the information which is given to one department, by the time they act and work on it, by that time it's already too late because the engineering department has already changed that data. So because of the lag, because of the difference in the time in which they act to the changes, this causes them to have unreliable data. It's not as fluid. It's like looking at the weather after it has passed, and not reacting right during not reacting actively to the weather. So that's the
Great. Does that answer the question?
It does. Thank you very much indeed.
No, not at all. All right. Well, we'll be moving on to the next team, which is, of course, Challenge 2, Scantainer. I imagine I'm pronouncing that wrong, but...
Yes, you're right, Linda. That's the right pronunciation.
My God. Well, that was incredibly unlikely. Thank you, Ship IT, for that amazing presentation.
Do we get extra points for you pronouncing it correctly?
No, you only get an extra point carried over from last night for being one of my 2 late night friends.
Okay, I'll see if I can. Do you guys see the screen?
No, not yet.
I'm sharing it. Share.
Okay, you've started sharing. All right, I will start the timer. Good luck.
There we are. Can you see this screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us for this hackathon. We've developed a smart container solution for the container industry, focusing on the container defect report. So we have the challenges. Lots of reports are still being done the old school way, paper. We all know the disadvantage. It takes a lot of time. It's not standardized. And because it's a global industry working with paper, not everybody has access to the right documents at the right time, creating inefficiencies. How big is the industry? We have 20 million containers in rotation. Each container does about 1 trip a month. That's between 200 and 250 million trips a year. And then we have about 10% damages. The damage might vary between $500 for minor exterior repairs to $500,000 if all the sneakers inside the container have been damaged and need to be paid for. Our solution, digital, real-time reporting, because it goes fast and it creates a digital document that can be shared with all parties. It allows you to use algorithms to monitor the containers. It improves the quality. You can easily secure it, which with paper is not as easy. So easy sharing, easy securing, easy streamlining of the flow. Who are our stakeholders? We have container owners, container handlers, container transporters, container users, surveyors of the containers, ICT providers like TradeLens and the supply chain software providers, and also an industry on its own, the claim handlers, because there is about $10 billion involved with the container claims. How does it work, our solution? We have a prototype that will be discussed with our Chief Technical Officer, Jade. Go ahead, Jade.
Thank you, Chris. So in our technology API, we allow the user to register and retrieve and check on the condition of the container and also delete the container if it's no longer usable. Next slide, please, Chris. So when a new container, which was not in the system yet, the user is is able to register a new container and with a specific globally unique container number and a user-friendly name saying container A for company B, etc. And on the right-hand side, we can see we put the argument of object type and controller gateway, those two variables represented to saying if we want to check the image of the container or saying the temperature, and we're using temperature sensor and camera, etc. And we can connect those into those two variables, which give like future potential for more features. Next slide, please. So the user can also check on the condition of specific containers, and the system will return the following details. Next slide, please. So the more detail can be found in this link where we store our code. Thank you. Move on to Chris.
Jay, thank you for your explanation of the prototype. So coming to the full story, the container images are analyzed by the AI. It generates a standardized condition report. Because it's standardized and shared with everybody, there can be provided support. And we are also entering the new industry version 4, entering the smart connected container. How does the smart container work today? It logs the position geographically, the temperature, the door opening, and the acceleration. Our solution will add also the exterior condition status, because even if you lock the position and all the other variables, if your condition is not in a good state, your cargo will get damaged. And the objective of the transport is to get your cargo from A to B in a safe and cost-effective manner. And how can we do that? Using the digital technologies and also the open standards, the REST API. It's compatible, more accessible and smarter, and we improve the efficiencies and the traceability and also the cost savings. You can purchase the product, you will get the service and the maintenance, you can get partnerships, you can also get the membership and also the training. Financial part of the story, you pay as you go, no capital expenditures, you pay per click.
Chris,
you do the reporting as a service.
Sorry.
Yes?
I'm going to have to stop you. That's 5 minutes.
We're on the 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we go to the last page, where we have the match with the challenge objectives. They speak for themselves. We have the high-tech features, the decreased connectivity costs, the information flow, the tracking, the connected containers, the artificial intelligence, and the outcome, improved communication channels and better maintenance and safer operations.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Awesome presentation. And again, opening up the stage to any of the judges who would like to ask questions.
Yeah. Hi, thanks for the presentation. I really liked it. I'm just not sure about one thing. How are you connecting the physical container? Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, that's indeed the original solution which has been developed, which works. Is it analyzes the digital images which the terminals or the smartphone provides using the AI, and it generates a condition report. This works. We've shown it to major carriers, but they didn't buy the product. And then we said, why is there a solution that works and can add value? Is it not being sold? And then we went to talk to the shippers, and they said, look, it's a shady gray area regarding the claims management of the containers. So the product works, but the industry is not yet ready. It's a disruptive product. And that's why I'm happy we have the hackathon. I presented it to the people who have never seen the product, and they said, yes, if we can connect it and publish the information and share the information with all the relevant parties, it's definitely adding value. So the product works, it's not selling as always with disruptive products. You need to create awareness and you need to position the product. And that's why I'm very happy we have the hackathon. I got a lot of insights from the team members, and they said, Chris, maybe we should do it like this. Maybe we should make it accessible. Maybe we should standardize it. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Not exactly. just to get a sense, is that a piece of hardware that you attach to every container?
No, so basically the main difference with the other sensors is, like you mentioned, the sensors currently are in one box connected to the container. And because you can only measure the temperature inside the container, but you cannot get the exterior condition unless you have exterior cameras. The terminals, most of the terminals, they have the truck gates, they collect the images, but they keep them for themselves. The shippers, they take some images when they fill the container and when they have damages of the container, but once again, they are in different locations, different times. There is confusion when they file a claim if the images were taken at the date that supposedly when they were taken. There is always argument. So we talked to the claims expert and they said, Chris, what we need is a solution that is creating objective reports and storing that in an authorized way using blockchain or whatever, so that when there is claim, we can go back into time, get the images and present the damage difference between the destination and the origin. And once we know where the damage occurred, we can keep that, make that party responsible. So at the moment, that's not possible because, like you mentioned, the sensor that can measure the exterior condition of the container does not exist. You need to use outside sensors, which are basically the cameras. But if you store it centrally together with the location, temperature, door opening, and the accelerations, then you have an actual passport, a digital twin of the container. So the sensor is outside, needs to be stored centrally, and then we have all the data accessible for all parties. And this is the big mind shift that hopefully the customers can make, that the sensor to measure the condition, it does not exist. I think it will be very difficult because of the laws of physics. You need to use exterior images.
Okay.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. We'll have to move on to the next.
Thank you for your time, guys. Thank you to the team and thank you to the jury.
Yeah, thank you. As we've had two amazing pitches so far, so no pressure for the
good. Always excited. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Okay. Challenge 3, deep dive. Let's go.
Can you see my? No, it's not screen sharing, is it? Okay. Screen share. And dive. Can
Brilliant.
everyone, can you hear me properly as well? Because I've had some issues with my microphone.
You're all good. Can see the screen and can hear you. 5 minutes. That's starting now.
Okay. Deep Dive wants to seek unprecedented insight into know what is below our oceans. We seek to improve efficiency and exploration and data collection, promoting a further and more personal in-depth knowledge of the coral reef, enhancing society's interaction with the ocean and the coral reef which sustains us. We increase economic and sociological use of resources to build and create a better understanding of marine life. Inefficient data collection in coral reefs causes excess cost and inaccurate data collection, insufficient knowledge by the public, and unknowing damage of what's happening. We need the coral reef. It sustains 1 billion people directly for food and a source of income. It has $36 billion market size of coral reef tourism and a $9 billion benefit from reduction of shoreline erosion, protection of coastal housing, and agricultural land and beaches. Our product does just that, because we need to make a change. We've spent enough money and we've spent enough time to know what is happening, and we need to know what we need to do. With our product, you can instantaneously deliver data without needing human interaction. It doesn't put any divers at risk. It has little to no interference in transmitting data and collaborates and connects companies to communities. This educates people of all ages. Our product can withstand 300 meters in depth, scanning color the reef for data and captures images. This information will then be taken up to the sea surface, where it will come into one of our charging and data release pods. This release data into the mobile network. It will then go on to one of our web servers, in which it will go onto our web server here. This web server shows and predicts data in which we are collecting in real time, collecting it upon the day and releasing it to the public for free. This will have the toxicity, the salinity, the turbidity, and the temperature with water conditions. It will also show the causes of water pollution from chemical, industrial, all the way to natural sources. It will then indicate to the public, what can you do to reduce these problems? And this is where the education point comes in. And this is where our sponsors come in. Because as the sponsors will pay a 5% of all their profits made, because as information is attached to our application frame, where the user can see what's causing this destruction, it will notify them what can make their life more environmental. Advertisement for our application will allow the sponsor to pay for all this data in which we're sharing and our product. This will allow the public to benefit, the companies to benefit, and ourselves to benefit from this partnership. Our competitor analysis says that we are on top of low power consumption and high endurance, with surface charging stations for continuous functionality, with data transfer via satellite and predictive analytics. We see that our financial projections will say that over the course of 3 years, we will continuously make a profit and more with continuous increasing revenue. Collecting instantaneous and valuable data from the coral reefs will further educate scientists and users alike about the health and protection of the seas. We connect coral to company to community. Come join our team for an ocean dive. Thank you.
Excellent, great work. And 30 seconds under as well. Excellent stuff, great pitch. Judges, over to you.
Do you have sponsors already in place, or are you planning on having sponsors? Sorry, I wasn't very clear about that, but it's a great presentation. If you just answer that question, thank you.
We are going to be looking at getting sponsors. So we'll be looking at, there's a lot of charities and marine places which want to, so the UK government, for example, have gone into committing themselves to a policy in which they must protect the coral reefs, especially around the UK. So that will be a first source of income, because our product will be able to use for their research, so they can have up-to-date daily research upon the coral reefs, especially around the UK.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from any judges?
Yeah, if we got more time, I'd like to better understand what are you planning, how are you planning to collect the data? You're talking about a rowboat, a diving, and then a service depot. How much do you think it could cover in one time? I mean, what's the plan there?
So we're using shelf components such as pH sensors and HD cameras, which are often used in marine use anyways. We're going to integrate it into our own glider so it can get high definition images straight away and collect instantaneous data through an algorithm which will collect it into a data disk within the product. So that means it will then transfer that as it reaches up to the top of sea at the end of the day. It will cover around 2 kilometers in distance of a coral reef per bot at the moment. That's what we're estimating. It can actually probably cover more depending on how long it takes to travel. It will then release data through a buoy, which is which is powered by solar panels. So it will then charge the thing whilst it's releasing the data via a mobile network, which will free up the space again so that it can go back down as soon as that data is released and then collect some more. Because it does also have a GPS system, so it can see where it's taken data already and locate it that way and see where it's gone through.
Right, great, thanks.
Fabulous, awesome. Thanks very much. Another excellent presentation. If we now move on to challenge 4, and that would be the shuttle.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Linda. Hello, everyone. I will be sharing the screen, and please forgive us if the line is not good. We may have to turn off our video, but we will do our best to be present as much as we can.
That's fine. Good luck. Okay, 5 minutes.
Okay, it will start by Ismail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi guys. We are an international team that come together through a shared love for the ocean. I'm Ismael from Ecuador. My team, Harry from England, Ricky from Netherlands, and Suwana from Thailand.
There are 3 trillion pieces of plastic currently circulating in our ocean, greatly impact our ecosystems, health, and economies. We, the shuttles, believe it is vital to act now. Our team designed a solar power ocean bin and shuttle system for the ocean cleanup project that allows them to improve productivity by 3 times. By using sustainable and renewable energy sources, unlike the current system, we focus on implementing autonomous operation and low to zero carbon emissions. By partnering with the Ocean Cleanup, Ocean of Energies, and Seabin project, we could 1. Limit setup costs and increase the speed up product launch. 2. Triple the productivity of the Ocean Cleanup project. 3. Compound long-term profits through a self-sustaining operation. Ricky will tell you more. How can we achieve this? Ricky?
Ricky, you're muted.
Oh, I was muted.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. So I will tell you guys a bit more about the design of our product. The bin will be a collection point for the plastics captured by the already existing ocean cleanup system. Our 3 catamarans will be docking on these bins, and while they're unloading their collected plastics, they are charging with the energy from the solar panels. In the section view, you will be able to see that the middle of the cylinder contains the battery storage, and all the technical equipment will be able to go in there, but it will still give a massive amount of temporary storage space for the plastics. So if we scroll down, you will see a digital drawing where you see a before and after. Currently, the cargo ships collect the plastics from the ocean cleanup systems, and our shuttle bin will be centralized point for multiple systems. So the bin will be filled by the catamaran shuttles autonomously, and this way you will be able to upscale without the need for multiple trips with the cargo ship. And Harry will tell you a bit more about how you will benefit from this.
So, as was said before, with the shuttle capabilities, they are able to collect a lot more plastic than the other 2 products that we got our ideas from, the Seabin project and the Ocean Cleanup. And the bin itself is capable of storing over 700 kilograms worth of plastic before a collection vessel needs to come and empty the bin itself. Due to the surface of the bin being covered completely in solar panels that were created by Oceans of Energy, which earlier this year were able to produce marine solar panels generating 17 kilowatts of electricity a day. It is very efficient and is more than capable of producing enough electricity to charge the two shuttles at the same time, and also store excess energy for nighttime or days where the weather is not as great. This allows the shuttle to run 24/7 and collect up to 50 kilograms of plastic a day, potentially, with minimal human interaction. As the technology has already been invented, there's no need to invest any money into creating this technology. And instead, we are therefore able to invest this money into actually running the device, building it and putting it out there. It does not cost any extra money to run, as all of the money that would have previously been used on plastic pollution cleanup can then be put into this product.
5 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Anything you want to wrap up, Harry?
Yeah, it's also able to reduce carbon emissions due to the singular central location of the bin.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Judges, any questions?
Have you seen any?
Sorry, Gary.
Have you seen any similar solution that exists today? What are you taking into place when considering this specific solution?
I think I can answer that question. So we're working with already existing technology. So the Ocean Cleanup is a company that already exists. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard about it. And what we try to do is make an addition to what they already have to make their system be able to upscale in a very cheap and easy way.
And at the same time, the Ocean of Energies is already successfully testing their floating solar power on oceans, which we will incorporate that design onto our sea bin, on top of our sea bin.
Right. Really like the chemistry and your energy. So good job. Thank you for the question.
And I suppose there was another question from Joe.
Yes, thank you. Super presentation and great teamwork. Seems like a really great idea. Why do you think it's not being done already?
First of all, I think the idea from the ocean cleanup itself has only just been started and 3 years ago. And the second project that really ran live and successful was just toward the end of 2018. They have just already started another one for the river called the Interceptions. And you can ask more from Ricky. She's really into it and introduced all of this to us. And the solar power, the floating solar power project that is introduced to us by Harry, that also just recently successful, that they can withstand the tropical cyclone.
Yeah, that was only put forward in February of this year.
Yes.
So it's only very
so we only just have technology that ready to use, and that means our product will reduce the cost of R&D massively and quicker to launch than start from scratch.
Yeah, exactly. 100% agree with Harry and Sawana, because this is all such a young project. We're really looking for like maybe even 10 years when they have the time to like expand their systems that they already have, because they're just getting started and like adding more and more projects onto their project to make like one master cleanup. And we think we could maybe help with that.
Yeah, because Ricky also mentioned something about the fact that the cost to run a boat for each garbage patch was cost a lot. That's why their project has been very limited. So her idea and what we together helped to come up would help to speed that up by at least 3 times for each 1 sea bin.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, the shuttle. Excellent presentation. And like the judges have said, it's fantastic to see such great teamwork. Last but by no means least, we have Sea Ranger. So get ready, and when you've got your screen sharing set up,
yeah,
5
let
minutes.
me know if you can see the screen.
Yeah, all good. 5 minutes. Take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are Sea Rangers, and we're addressing the challenge of smart technology. And we come from diverse backgrounds, and we have a very diverse skill set. And we have one common goal that we'd like to address, so it's to provide a truly global solution for one of the most persistent problems of our time, which is actually overfishing. So some staggering statistics for you. By 2048, if no action is going to be taken, there'll be no more fish. So imagine there'll be no more fish and chips, there'll be no more snorkeling around in the sea, and this can literally become the 21st century dinosaur. So this is exactly why the change is needed. Overfishing is a truly global issue, even though regulatory controls are already in place and there are many mechanisms that try to control this activity. Many fishing boats and a lot of fishing activity is not compliant and is actually untraceable. We Sea Rangers explore the existing solutions, and these include REM, remote electronic monitoring, AIS, IMO numbering. However, what we did notice that these solutions are targeting larger vessels, which are more than 10 meters in size. In the globalized world, we tend to forget about smaller things, that small cafe around the house, that small fishmonger where you buy your dinner. And this is why we found an opportunity in actually looking at smaller vessels in the UK. So we want to allow fishermen to continue their trade and ensure local businessmen or businesswomen are protected, especially in the current climate. As you can see, almost 80% of the UK fleet is actually made up of vessels of 10 meters or under, and they can generate market value of 12%. And this is exactly the market gap that we found. With the data collection system that we try to propose, it encourages people to operate sustainably, drive industry-wide transparency and traceability, and to provide governments with an efficient solution for smaller vessels, and to drive that industry-wide behavioral change, departing from self-interest to promoting communal good, economic good, and economic resilience. So we are now moving on to the solution. As you can see, we have a lot of points that we outlined in this slide. What I really want to focus about is that we Sea Rangers, we provide a data collection system that would also not only allow all those good things that were listed, but the key USP for us and for fishermen, why would they adopt it, is that our device would help to trace all the information on the vessel. So it would be really good for insurance companies. It would be good for the vessel owner if he or she would want to lease it out or sell it, so they can easily access that data and see the history of that particular boat. So how does our product work? I'll outline all the features of the product, and also would try to multitask and scroll through the slides with our prototype. So let's move on to that. We have some beautiful visuals here. Essentially, the product will work the following way. So it'll be a SIM card that will be installed on an easily attachable device on the boat. It will send the signal to the cloud, and it will show the end user the information either on a phone, on an app, or would be on a website. So the features of our product will include GPS tracking, measuring the load of the vessel through the weight sensors that will be installed, tracking service conditions, and also carbon emissions, because there could be some valuable information for environmental reasons as well. Hopefully I managed with this multitasking. And now we're moving on to projection. So for the purposes for this weekend, we focused on Scotland and the UK. So currently there are 4,176 registered fishing small vessels that are under 10 meters. And you can see that it's just the UK. And if we move on to another market, the number of vessels could be much larger, just given, for example, if you take the United States of America or you take Russia. So our solution could be easily scalable. And what we also want to highlight is that our solution would be easily integrated with existing regulatory controls, such as the REM system that's already in place in the UK. So we can integrate this through an API. And obviously, another key benefit is using Internet of Things technology, which will obviously decrease the costs of on-sea patrols that are currently present at seas, controlling the small vessel, any vessels out there. And so you can see our plan and the return on investment. And I'd like to conclude that our product, as you saw, is easily scalable, seamlessly integratable with existing solutions, and it addresses the key issue of overfishing. It will drive sustainable practices and protect small businesses and trade. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sophia. That was incredibly on point. Congratulations for that on its own. And well done for a fantastic presentation. As it has been, judges, if you've got any questions, fire away.
I completely agree with what you said. I think you jumped right into the point. It's not that popular here, but when I assume if you tell British folks that there will be no more fish and chips, you really got their attention. So good job on that one. So I really like the presentation, and I think the concept is right. Though I'm having struggled to understand. Are you proposing to get an hardware on board to collect the data and send it to the cloud? Your own hardware?
So this was our plan, to have a hardware produced, which will be easily attachable to the boat. Jill, would you like, is Jill there, our technical expert? So he can provide a more detailed overview, but this was essentially the plan, yes.
No, but I don't need a detailed overview. I'm just trying to get the sense of that. And so in every new boat, you will have to install a new hardware. And is that true?
This was our plan, yeah.
Right. And have you given some thought into how are you going to persuade or convince ship owners to install the tracking device in their mind on their vessels? I'm asking that because it's a global challenge. It's not something that I'm just asking because it is a hackathon. Have you given some thought to that?
We definitely did. So we spent a lot of time on actually formulating the incentive for the vessel owners. And the key benefit that we decided to push for, and I think it will be benefit for all, is that it would allow for every ship owner to have that history of the vessel. So it'll be valuable for insurance companies if anything happens. And let's say there's going to be a dispute on insurance. If a ship owner is deciding to sell the boat or buy a new one, they can also trace its history, whether it was, involved in any accidents or illegal activity. So it's really that incentive that would like to push for fishermen owners, or fish vessel owners, rather.
Good job.
Yeah, great presentation. Also concur with that. I think from an insurance point of view and also a selling point of view, they're probably things that only happen from time to time, and they're future benefits rather than current ones. So what plans, if any, would you have to co-create the solution to research this, not just with fishermen, but also with the regulators?
Anyone else in the team wants to address it, or I seem to be the only one speaking? We did think about that as well. So obviously we've done some preliminary analysis on the numbers that we have in the UK. So I think the real focus for us is to make that solution very integratable with existing systems. Sorry. Sorry? Could you hear me okay? Yeah. So our real kind of driver is to make it very integratable with what there is in the UK currently, or any other regulatory bodies globally in the future. And in terms of future research, I think we would like to really have focus groups with vessel owners and really understand what are the other sort of obstacles and other things they would like to see in the device, and what are their concern points. So I think this is the kind of primary data we would like to collect. ourselves. Unfortunately, for the kind of time restraints this weekend, we can do it, but this is actually in the pipeline for us. Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, team. You're the best.
Thanks.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I believe that brings us to the end of our pitches, no?
Yes.
Yeah, just double checking that I've got a full list. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, everyone, for your hard work this weekend, for getting involved, and sorry, was someone speaking, or is that background info? Okay. We'll
I think there are notifications from Slack that everyone is getting, and you can hear the voices. I'm sorry, I just want to jump in and say it was a great job to all of you. I think it's, I don't envy you. I think it's hard enough to do a hackathon and build a nice product or a concept, but to do that online on different time zone and different areas of the world, that is just incredible. And and getting the presentation ready for online presentation, it's a whole different ball game than do it in on the spot. So congratulations and good job, everybody. Sorry, I had to jump into it. Lindell, the stage is yours.
No, that's fine. I completely echo what you've said. Getting to know new people and working within a small group cross time zone is incredible. And as you said, Yuri, doing it virtually and across time zones is a totally new challenge. So well done, everyone. We've recorded this. We'll be reviewing it alongside our judges, and we'll be announcing some winners and the winners tomorrow. We won't be doing it this evening because obviously Sarah's off, and we'd love to have her included in the process. Unfortunately, she's ill. So I hope you will understand that we'll be announcing it tomorrow. We'll be probably announcing it in the evening. That seems like the best time. Most people are going to be online. And yeah, thank you all again. It's been excellent. And I sincerely hope that we get to move some of these projects forward, if not all of them. And finally, thank you to the team. Thank you, Jigger. Thank you, Manel. Thank you, Shah, for getting everyone on Slack, keeping everything up and running and maintaining the infrastructure. Thank you, Shanzika. You haven't heard from her, but she is our amazing graphic designer who's responsible for all those place cards that look fantastic and keep Slack looking sharp. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Heba, for the other help in the background and for helping stuff run smoothly.
A big thanks to our judges and speakers as well, guys. Thank you very much.
Most definitely. Yeah, we really appreciate that. It really brings something special to the event. Having people that don't work for TH in the mix and people that are experts in the industry, it really adds value to our hackathons